Hey, this is Doc Yates. I'm a naturopathic doctor, registered acupuncturist, and a kinesiologist, owner of the Yates Naturopathic Clinic, and the founder of the interactive health website, Able Health. And this is the Simply Health Podcast, a show for females where I work to simplify and demystify the secrets of achieving optimal health naturally, based on my own experience in working with thousands of female patients over the past 15 years of my clinical practice. Welcome to Simply Health. Hey, this is Doc Yates, and on today's drive, we are going to talk about allergies and what I call the histamine bucket. So allergies and histamine bucket. So my kids, they had this book, as a kid's book, and it was all about when you do something nice for someone, you're filling up their bucket, and if you're doing something mean to someone, it's like you're emptying their bucket, and the world's a better place when your buckets are all full. And I agree 100%. But when we're dealing with the histamine bucket, it is the exact opposite approach. Because histamine is, when in excess, that's what causes all your allergy symptoms. But at the same time, your body needs some histamine, so you can't have zero. The problem becomes when there's enough things around you that your body's reacting to, and enough things that's in you that your body's reacting to, and you create more and more histamine. And eventually, it's enough histamine that the bucket overflows and you get symptoms. So that's where you get your runny nose, itchy, watery eyes, all those, that pressure in your sinuses, all of those uncomfortable symptoms that are associated with allergies. So typically, the solution would be just take an antihistamine, something like Benadryl, and take it through your allergy season, and then when you come out of the allergy season, you'll be fine. The problem is that for some people, allergy season can be spring and summer, summer, and fall, and for some people, it's year-round. And there's some new studies that have come out on anticholinergic drugs, and Benadryl, one of the main allergy remedies, is in this. And if you have taken Benadryl for 3 consecutive years, your risk of dementia goes up 54%. Now keep in mind, I'm assuming these are all relative percents, not absolute, and we can discuss that later. But either way, the use of these medications long term increases your risk of dementia significantly. So what we need to do is figure out other ways that you can safely reduce your symptoms and reduce your histamine, reduce the amount of histamine in your bucket safely and naturally to prevent all of these. Nobody wants dementia. I've seen it in my own family, and it's one of the worst things to watch people have to go through that. Now, for my own learning in terms of allergies, I've worked with patients for this for a long time, but even for myself, I never had allergies growing up, but after I had my knee surgery, so after I blew up my ACL in a football injury when I was younger, came out of surgery, and all of a sudden, allergies, specifically ragweed, drove me nuts. And it's still a problem to this day, but now I can manage it and control it using these natural treatments. So today I'm going to discuss 5 things that you can do to naturally reduce your histamine and your allergy symptoms that are safe. So, number 1, ideally you do this during allergy season. You can do it longer than that, especially if your allergy season is year-round. And more specifically, if your allergies involve a lot of mucus production, so a lot of sinus pressure and runny nose, is reduce your dairy and reduce your sugar. This makes a big difference. And honestly, try this during your allergy season. Allergy season typically lasts for each one of those seasons more than a couple months. If you want to try it out, cut it out for the first month completely, and then put a whole bunch of it back in and see if your symptoms get worse, because most of the time it will. So cut out your sugar, cut out your dairy, and you will notice a reduction in your allergy symptoms. Now, keep in mind, these 5 points are in no particular order. It's not like one's more important than the other, and every one of these I've seen cause significant improvements in people's allergies. So you can try 1, you can try 2, you can combine all of them if you want. Point number 2, it would be food sensitivities. So if you have a lot of food sensitivities, identifying those and removing those And again, if they're pretty bad food sensitivities, you want to cut them out year-round, but especially during allergy season if that's your only goal. The third thing, they're called slit drops, and it stands for sublingual, means under the tongue, immunotherapy. And this is really cool because it's the same concept as like allergy shots, except it's a much more natural way to be exposed to allergens as opposed to injecting it directly into your bloodstream. So it's a much more natural way. It's much more convenient because you never have to go for appointments, and you can just do it from the comfort of your own home. So you can buy the allergen of something that you're actually sensitive to. Say it was a pollen. Say it was tree pollen. You can buy this tree pollen, and it's an extremely diluted form, like maybe like a 1 in 10, 1 in 20 even when you're first starting out. And you just take a drop of that a day. And by taking it that way, it actually reduces your body's reaction over time. So just tiny amounts makes it so your body gets more used to it and can handle it. And it's not creating because allergies are immune reactions to things that you should not be having a reaction to. And by continuously putting these things in orally, it reduces your symptoms. I was at a talk with an immunologist once, and they said in their study that if you were to take the allergen orally while also giving yourself a probiotic at the same time, they found in their study that helped even more. So that's something you definitely want to consider, is if you can use these drops over the period. Now, keep in mind, just like allergy shots, it's over a period of years, you can completely reduce your symptoms to those allergens. Point number 4, there's herbs that work great for reducing your allergies. And this is, I put together a formula in the clinic called Allergy Effects. But the big herbs that you'll find in there, butterbur will be in there. Definitely nettle will be in there. Schisandra, Scutellaria, bicalentus will be in there. Sometimes the herbs, Kangarz, licorice. So there's all these herbs that you can use in the right combination, and you can see a very significant reduction. And so I have a few patients that they only come in for allergy season, and I always know it's like, oh, it's springtime, so and so will be coming in anytime for their allergies. And this formula is not curative. This formula is to reduce your symptoms without having to take the other medications, like the actual allergy medications, which have all the side effects associated with it. So that's where this is great. So the final thing too that I found, point number 5, is acupuncture actually works great for allergy symptoms. I've had a few people, and it's not all the time, but where literally they'll just come in for a few acupuncture sessions leading up to their allergy season, and then they're fine. So there's some important points around the nose, in the ears, and then in their hands and wrists that are very specific for allergies, and that can be very helpful too. So let's just do a quick review. 5 things that you can do to reduce your histamine bucket. So reduce sugar and dairy. If you have any food sensitivities, identify and eliminate that. And we've discussed this in previous podcasts. Sublingual immunotherapy drops, or the slit drops, which you can get. Allergy herbs, so herbs that can reduce your allergy symptoms. And then acupuncture. And using these, you will definitely see a reduction in your allergy symptoms. That is definitely, especially if you're using this whole combination. So I hope this was helpful. Allergies, compared to a lot of conditions, compared to the grand scheme of conditions that anything could happen, they're not that bad, but man, they can still be a real pain. So I hope this is helpful. And this is Doc Yates signing off. Thanks for tuning in to Simply Health. If you want to learn more about health, check out Able Health. If you want to see some of the other projects that I've been working on in health, business, music, and life, please check out the links below.